You know when you look at a string of numbers and it just feels like a secret message? Well, it kind of is. Every single number sequence has a hidden rule, a secret code. And today, we are going to become expert code breakers. Your first puzzle is coming up right now.
Okay, let's warm up with a quick one. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12. What comes next? I bet you've got it. If you guessed 15, you're absolutely right. The secret rule, the key to this whole code, is just add 3. Easy enough, right? But what happens when the code isn't quite so obvious? Well, let's find out.
All right, welcome to your first mission. The goal here is to find a foolproof method, a master key for discovering the secret rule every single time.
So the official name for what we're doing is finding the term-to-term rule. It sounds kind of fancy, but it's really just a way of asking, how do we get from one number to the next? What's the jump? In this example, 2, 4, 6, 8, well, the jump is obviously plus 2. But how do we find that jump when it's not so clear?
Here it is, our first universal code-breaking technique. To find the hidden rule in any sequence like this, all you have to do is subtract the first number from the second. So in our example, 4 minus 2 equals 2. And there's our rule, add 2. This simple little trick is the foundation for literally everything else we're about to do.
All right, you've totally mastered the basics. It's time to level up. Whole numbers are one thing, but what happens when the code starts throwing fractions at us? Let's dive into the fraction challenge.
So yeah, what do we do when the secret code involves fractions? Does our master key, our little subtraction trick, still work? Let's go find out.
Okay, take a look at this sequence. We've got 2, then 2.5, then 3, then 3.5. The pattern's pretty clear, right? Each jump is exactly the same size. The term-to-term rule is just add 1/2. So the basic idea of a consistent jump, it still applies. Of course, codes can also work in reverse, with the numbers getting smaller. Here, the sequence starts at 4, and the next number is 3 3/4. If we use our subtraction rule, we can see the jump is minus 1/4. But wait, the next number in the sequence is 3.5, and this is where it gets interesting. This is where code breakers really have to be on their toes. See, to subtract a quarter from a half, we need the fractions to speak the same language. We do this by finding what's called a common denominator. We can turn 1/2 into the equivalent fraction 2/4. Now our problem is simple. 3 2/4 minus 1/4, which gives us the right answer, 3 1/4. And this brings us to the first official rule in our Codebreakers toolkit. Write this down. When you're working with fractions, you have to always find a common denominator. It's the key that makes the calculation simple and reveals the hidden pattern. You're doing great. You can handle adding and subtracting fractions. Now, it's time for the boss level, sequences with mixed numbers. This is where we put everything we've learned together.
The secret to beating this boss is not to get overwhelmed. Anytime you're dealing with mixed numbers, you just break it down. It's a simple two-step mission. Don't try to solve it all at once.
So here's that two-step mission. Step 1, just handle the whole numbers. Add or subtract them first, get them out of the way. Step 2, handle the fractions. And what do we always do with fractions? We remember rule number 1, find a common denominator. See, when you break it down like this, it's not so tough. And this same logic works perfectly for subtraction. To solve 39 4/7 minus 1 3/7, we just follow the plan. Step 1, the whole numbers. 39 minus 1 is 38. Step 2, the fractions. 4/7 minus 3/7 is 1/7. Put them together and our answer is 38 1/7. See? But hang on, the boss has one last trick up its sleeve. Look at the very next step in the sequence. We have 38 1/7, and we need to subtract 1 3/7. Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. You can't take 3 away from 1, so what do? Do we give up? Never. We use a special technique called borrowing. It's awesome. Since we can't subtract 3/7 from 1/7, we just borrow from the whole number. We take 1 from that 38, which leaves it as 37. Now, we turn that 1 we borrowed into a fraction. Since our denominator is 7, that 1 becomes 7/7. We add that to the 1/7 we already had, which gives us 8/7. And now we can subtract. 8/7 minus 3/7 is 5/7. So our final answer is 37 5/7. Boom! Boss level defeated.
Okay, deep breath. We've cracked fractions. We've cracked mixed numbers. Now for our final challenge, a whole new type of puzzle called the decimal code.
So, what if our sequence looks like this, full of all those little decimal points? Do we need a whole new set of tools? A new master key?
Here's the good news. You don't need any new tools. Our master technique still works perfectly. To find the rule, you do the exact same thing we did at the very beginning. Subtract the first term from the second. So here, 5.8 minus 5.4 is 0.4. The secret rule is add 0.4. Simple as that. So finding the rule is easy. But when it's time to actually add or subtract with decimals, there is one rule. One super-duper important rule you absolutely must follow. It's the key to getting the right answer every single time.
And here it is, codebreaker rule number 2. Always align the decimal points. When you write the numbers down to add or subtract them, you have to stack them so the decimal points are right on top of each other. This is so important because it makes sure you're adding tenths to tenths and ones to ones. If you mess this up, your calculations will be wrong, and that code will stay a mystery forever.
And that's it. We've done it. We've tackled whole numbers, fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals. You've faced every challenge, and you've learned every secret technique. Now, you are the code breaker. So let's review your toolkit for your final mission. Here is your complete code-breaking toolkit. First up, the master key. Find the rule by subtracting the first two terms. For fractions, remember codebreaker rule number 1. Common denominators are your best friend. For those tricky mixed numbers, use the two-step mission. Wholes first, then fractions. And don't forget you can borrow. And finally, for decimals, codebreaker rule number 2. Always align those decimal points.
All right, it's all up to you now. Here is your final test. Take a look at this sequence, use your new toolkit, and crack the code. What's the secret rule? What's the next number in the sequence? I'm not going to tell you the answer. You don't need me to. The code is in your hands now. Good luck.